Hey everybody, this is Ori from OneScales, and in today's video, I'm going to help you get much closer to choosing a Shopify plan that fits you. And I'm going to talk about two different standpoints to help you understand it really well. Number one is the features and the functionality. And number two are the costs and the fees that you need to pay and what you get from it. Okay, so let's jump into it. So quick introduction to Shopify. Shopify is an e-commerce platform that most businesses open stores that they can sell online, either physical or digital products. And there's a few main plans. There's a basic plan, there's a Shopify plan, an advanced plan, and there's two other plans right below, which are a starter plan. I'm not going to talk about it. So this is not really a website. This is a very simple one, just upload products, sell them through a buy box, or very simple things. And there's a Shopify Plus, which we will talk about it. So we're going to talk about the three main ones and Shopify Plus. We're not going to talk about the posts, the in-store, that kind of stuff. We're talking about online only, which are the most popular ones. Okay, so let's jump into it. Let's look at this page and then we'll jump into it. So the first thing you need to know is Shopify has, for the regular Shopify, you have three main plans: basic, Shopify, and advanced. They have a monthly fee. Right now, they started in 2023 offering them in monthly and yearly. Everything we're going to cover is yearly, the fees. But in general, if you pay monthly, it's slightly more per month, and yearly, so you get about 25% savings. And so in addition to the fees itself, you have a monthly fee you're going to pay. You're going to have apps fees, and that'll depending on how many third-party apps you're using. And there's a transaction fee, which means based on your orders, for every order, you're going to pay a certain transaction, which we're going to cover very soon, per order. And each plan has a different rate for the different transaction fees. Okay, so step one is we're going to talk about all the functionality. So let's go right here. We're going to look at the list right here of the main three ones, and later we'll talk about Plus. So first of all, your monthly fee, either monthly you're paying a little bit more, or yearly you're going to pay per month, right? Okay, number two is all of them you get online stores. Obviously, you can sell with all of them. You have unlimited products, staff accounts for the different plans, basic, Shopify, and advanced. How many accounts can log into the backend as the business to do things, to process orders, to upload products, to do marketing things, email, newsletters, things like that. Now, with all of these plans, you can also invite collaborators. So if you have a web design company, a marketing company, you don't have to have this threshold. You can invite them as collaborators in addition to the staff accounts. Typically, staff accounts are people or employees that work in the same company. Collaborators are usually third-party companies that help. Okay, all the support and all the sales channels are the same. Sales channels are sell on Google, sell on Instagram, sell on your website. These are what sales channels. There's no difference between them. Okay, these are more advanced if you want to build very headless solutions or very complex things. You'll do it. Most people don't really care about this. This is basically new. Inventory locations. If you have multiple inventory locations, multiple stores, multiple warehouses, they're all the same. Customers can make orders, but the business can make orders in the back end. That's what that means. You can make orders by someone calling customer service, stuff like that. So discount codes, SSL certificate, all these are basically the same. So it doesn't matter based on the plan. Reports is one of the things you get a lot more based on the the higher level plan. So this is one thing that is interesting to look at. You definitely get more detailed reports, more marketing, more detailed reports, and you can build your own reports. Some of them, it's fairly limited, but you can definitely build more things. Third-party calculated shipping rates. You can use, based on the advanced plan, you can use Shopify's built-in shipping calculator. So if you can set flat rates here, or you can use a third party on the basic and standard. But if you want Shopify to automatically calculate it based on your dimensions or weight or things like that, Shopify Advanced is the only one to do it. Okay, customer segmentation means you can group customers in different groups. For example, they live in this country, they're male, female, etc., things like that. You can have a lot of customer segmentation, mainly for marketing and sales. Marketing automation, unlimited contacts, e-commerce automation. All these things are pretty basic. Unlimited contacts basically means as many customers as you want. For e-commerce automations, This is an important thing. You can build, this is for mostly for marketing and sales. You can build workflows to automate things. With advanced, you have Shopify Flow, excuse me. You can build very advanced workflows if this thing happens. For example, if someone orders a very high amount, I want you to stop it and check it for fraud. If someone orders from this one, I want you to save that in a Google Sheet and do something with it later. Or I want you to send an auto email to a customer if they haven't picked up their product, or if they want to return, I want you to send them an SMS, things like that. Okay. International markets, they all offer, you can all have domains and translations using third-party apps, things like that. You can use domains or subfolders. They're all basically the same. You can translate, you can have currency conversion, local payments, payment methods, right? Local for the specific country you're selling or countries. And then import taxes if you're shipping abroad and you want more advanced way to automate your shipping across to charge taxes for shipping to other countries, you can do that. So in general, just to kind of recap this thing for these the most popular three plans, the Shopify plan and Advanced have most of the features you're going to need. And if you're a small store, you'll have some, for basic, you'll have a few things: limited staff accounts, and limited reports, no third-party calculated rates, and no automations, and then full automations. And then import duties. Okay, this is typically for much bigger projects. Okay, so if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments, and we're gonna jump in. So what else is happening here? In addition to these three, you have Shopify Plus, which is the most expensive and the most feature rich. So what does Shopify Plus have? So first of all, you have the rates. For example, $299 a month, $49 a month, $19. Shopify Plus actually starts from $2,000 a month, and has lower transaction rates. So Shopify Plus has a lot more features built in. It has very cool things for bigger projects. Let's go and get to the Shopify Plus. 1 second. Let's look at that. Okay, so what is in the Shopify Plus features? So number one is Shopify Plus is for enterprise, for bigger projects. So number one, you have a way to organize in your backend. You can organize your users, your stores, and your flows. So what does that mean? A lot of cases for bigger enterprise projects or bigger businesses, they might have multiple stores, or they might have certain organization of managing their staff. For example, maybe they have in-house a marketing team, and they have their sales team, and they have their B2B team. They have a lot of different things. So if you have a different organization, you can use the backend. Before you even get into the backend, you have another backend, an organization admin, lets you manage all your users, and you have unlimited users. Before, if you remember, the staff accounts was like 2, 5, 15. You have unlimited. You can have hundreds of users. So typically, if you have multiple stores or multiple users, you want to organize it in a more organized way. So this is one thing. Second thing is, Shopify, the plans we saw before, are just typically for B2C, only direct to consumer, which means I'm selling to a customer and they're just buying from me, and that's it. But it does not have a wholesale channel, which is B2B, business to business, right? So if you want to sell to other vendors, other businesses, and you want to have things like bulk pricing, different payment methods, for example, pay plus 60 days, plus 90 days net, things like that. Or you want to have a different website with a different way to display all your products, to order in bulk, to reorder, things like that, you have the wholesale channel. Launchpad is a way for you to, when you launch a new website, let's say you're migrating from a different platform to this one, there's an easy way for you to actually launch things. Script editor is one of the most advanced features and one of the best features of Shopify Plus, which allows you to customize the checkout. So all the plans before, basic, advanced, and Shopify and advanced, you cannot customize the checkout. You can have apps, you can customize the theme, the layout, the code, but the checkout you cannot touch at all, other than changing a logo and some pictures. But what you can do is you can make very advanced things in the checkout, and this is one of the best features for Shopify Plus. It's great for conversions, marketing, and a lot of customization. So this is, in my opinion, the best, maybe number one or number two most important thing for Shopify Plus is you can customize the checkout page. Bulk account inviter, if you want to invite customers, for example, for your B2B store or B2C, you have special promotion, a special thing for exclusive VIP, etc. And transporter app. So what else can you do? So we talked about customizing the checkout. We talked about that. There's additional APIs, basically coding connections to the website to do things. You have your merchant success program. You have more information you can read. You have people that can help you. Unlimited staff accounts we talked about. Additional permissions. You can allow your staff to access some either all of the website backend or very specific parts. For example, only want to control the certain reports, or only the orders, or only products, things like that. You can do more. You do have permissions in the regular plans, the basic, Shopify, and advanced, but you have more permissions in Plus. You can, this is also a very big thing. You can have included up to, I think, 9 stores. So you can have additional stores, for example, for your internationalization, which means, let's say I have a store in US, Germany, and France. So I can have the www.mystore.com for US, for example, and then de.mystore.com, which would be for Germany. So you can have and manage them all in one system instead of with the regular Shopify. You'd have to literally set up completely different billing, completely different stores for every single country. There's another way to do it without subdomains and expansion stores, but there's a lot more things you can do. There's really a lot more things here. Other than that, you can manage more themes. So this is more for developer and for variations, but a theme is basically your front end layout, how the website looks and how it functions. So you can actually manage more and keep more backups and things like that. I'm going to skip Shopify Posts Pro. It's basically Posts is the in-store machine that you can collect and swipe credit cards and things like that. It's not my specialty, the Post, so I'm going to skip that. And you do have integrations for automation with Avalara for reporting tax, especially in the US, which is a really important thing. The other plans you have to integrate with another third-party app or export it to your QuickBooks or whatever ERP you're using, and do that. And you have a lot more information. So other than that, there's going to be another thing. So again, if you have any questions, let me know about any specific thing that's right here. So other than that, if you remember, there is, let's go right here. There's the monthly fee. And in addition to the monthly fee, there's actual transaction fee. So I'm going to talk about this in the second section. First of all, we talked about all the functionality features and the monthly fee. Now I'm going to talk about the full fees and explain what's going on. Opening. Okay, so I made this sheet. I'm going to share this in the YouTube comments so you can also access this. You can reference it. But very simply, you're going to have 4 plans we're talking about: the basic, Shopify Advanced, and the Plus. This is the monthly fee you're using, and this is a transaction fee. Every single order you have, you're going to have to pay this transaction fee. Now, there's 2 different ways that you can actually use Shopify Plus, or excuse me, Shopify Plans. Number one is you can use the built-in payment gateway, which a payment gateway is just a way for you to accept credit cards or payments in general. You can either use Shopify One, which is built in. If you're in the US and some of the main countries, it's not offered in every single country. And you can check that via the Shopify website. But what you can do is if you use the Shopify payments, this is the fee. So every transaction, for example, I got an order of $100, I would pay to Shopify, in addition to the monthly fee, I would pay 100 times 2.9 plus 30 cents of every order. And so so at the end of the month, or your billing cycle, you're going to pay all of your orders, and you're going to pay that amount. And so based on the plan you have, the fees start going down. So the higher plan you have, the fee is going to be, for example, every order I'm going to pay 30 cents plus 2.9% of that order. And then the next plan is 2.6%, 2.4%, and then Shopify Plus is 2.15. Now, you can use Shopify payments, or you can use your own payment gateway. So sometimes you have a better rate, or your business has to work with certain payment gateways. For example, maybe I have to work with Amazon Pay, or I have a third party like authorized.net or something like that. And so you're going to pay, if you're using a third party payment, you're going to use them, but you're going to pay whatever you agreed with them, which is separate from Shopify. For example, I'm going to pay 2.1% transaction fee to my vendor, for example, authorized.net. But I'm also going to pay, if you use the third party, I'm going to pay an additional percentage on every single order, which is here 2% for basic, 1%, 0.5%, and 15.15%. So you're going to pay whatever you pay the third party plus this. So you can see there's a differences. So Shopify obviously wants you to pay their, directly to them. They make more money. If not, you have to pay this. Kind of like a corkage fee if you bring your own wine to a restaurant, right? Things like that. Now, if you have any questions about what to choose, what to recommend in general, you can ask in the comments. In general, Shopify Payments has a lot of advantages for it, but it really depends on your specific case for it. If you're not sure, it's good to probably start with Shopify Payments, but if you have questions, let me know. So the last part of this, of the financial, is how do I made basically a simple calculation to figure out when should how much fees am I paying that is on this difference, the difference between 2.9, 2.6, 2.4, 2.15, and 2.1, how much difference am I paying that I should already upgrade anyways because I'm actually saving money on the fees? So I hope this makes sense. Let me explain a little bit in the calculation right here. So if I sell, let's say I sell $100, right, $100 for, and I'm using the basic plan, I'm going to pay $29 plus I'm going to pay $2.9 plus 30. So basically 2.9 plus 30 cents. So I'm going to pay this fee. But if I start to sell already in a month more than $6,667 in a month, this is going to be my transaction fee to Shopify. Okay, so basically, if you notice here, I'm selling 6,607 in the month times the 2.9% plus the monthly fee. And then my actual fees that I'm going to pay to Shopify is $222.34, $234.3. Now, if I actually sell the exact same, I'm actually going to start paying less to Shopify. So anything above this, you're actually going to want to use the Shopify plan because you're basically making more money. You're paying less to Shopify, you're making more money. So for example, if I sold, to give you another calculation, if I sold $10,000, okay, so let's do the calculation right here. If I sold in the basic plan $10,000 in the month, and I paid 2.9%, and I basically plus 29, I would pay $319 in my monthly fee to Shopify. Now, if I actually went here and I actually earned the same 10,000, but I was paying more per month but less per order, then 10,000 times 2.6 plus 49 would be 309. So I'm actually paying, with the same sales, I'm paying $10 less to Shopify. So basically what I did here is I try to make it really easy for you guys to give you the threshold. So if you're already selling this amount, you should not use basic because Shopify will actually give you more revenue for yourself. And Shopify, so anything between 6,667 to 125,000, you should actually use Shopify. But anything from 125,001, you should use Advanced, and then anything from 680,401, you should actually use Plus because you're actually paying less fees. Shopify more for your business revenue. And for basically for third-party payment gateway, same thing. Anything you sell above $2,000, don't use basic, use Shopify, get more features and pay less fees. Anything above $50,000, you use Advanced, get more features and pay less fees, and then Plus, etc. So I wrote down all the stuff here. You can see the calculation. You can see how it is. Other than that, I want to close the video with the two things. Number one is this calculation it's not a perfect calculation because I didn't do the plus 30 cents because it's hard to estimate how many orders you're going to have. I can estimate the sales, but I can't estimate how many orders. So you might only have 5 orders, or you might have 10,000 very small orders. So it's rounded off, but it's within a few dollars in general. Second thing, the Plus account actually has additional fees if someone uses American Express. If they use Visa or MasterCard, these are your fees. But if for Plus, excuse me, but if they use American Express, there's higher transaction fees you need to pay. So your monthly bill may change a little bit. Other than that, I really recommend for you to check the threshold because you should upgrade to that to save money. This is based, if you remember the fees, I base this based on the yearly calculation, which is 25% cheaper than the monthly. So the numbers will be a little different if you only want to pay monthly, but most of your fees are always going to be based on the transaction fee. As mentioned before, if you use the third-party payment gateway, this does not include how much you're going to pay to the third-party payment gateway. So hope this makes sense. I'm going to finish this video and basically explain very simply. These are the major plans: Basic, Shopify Advanced, Plus, which is Enterprise. You have a monthly fee. You have a certain amount of features, and that's it. Appreciate it, guys.